So when it comes to helping someone transmute their emotions, as a coach, I realize I have to do one thing, and that's not to be an active listener. So in this video, I'm letting you know and teaching you that being an active listener is not how you support somebody to transmute information within their bodies, especially emotions in their bodies. What you want to become is a compassionate listener. See, an active listener is for conversations. It's for you to have a talk and return type of conversation. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. That's active listening. Compassionate listening comes from an open heart. So today I had to have be in my coaching mode. Well, let me take that back. Not coaching mode, my counseling mode, where I had to become the compassionate listener. I had to hold space for someone during a grief process that they were going through in that moment. And what do I mean? I mean, I had to stand and sit and be with them in their emotions. And because I'm a little bit of an empath and a very sensitive person, I also had to mimic and mirror the emotion they were feeling. And it also brought me into not just empathy, but also sympathy for myself and understanding what they were going through, but in a compassionate way. So the main thing that I do when I'm a compassionate listener is I keep my mouth shut because I know as a transformational holistic self-love coach that my compassionate listening skills is not for me. It's for the person who reached out to me and needed to be able to process information, process the emotions, process, in this case, grief and a little bit of anger. And this was a young man. And when you're dealing with men, because when I say he's a man, he's a grown man. He's just younger than me. But when you're dealing with a male who is at the vulnerable point of sharing something with you, I don't care if it's your husband, your son, your brother, if you are female, I'm talking to my crown era women. If you are female and a man is wanting to share something vulnerable with you, don't give him any advice. That is not your role. Your role is to be compassionate. Your role is to listen and to observe and to mirror what they need in that moment. So I didn't reach out for a hug. I didn't say it's going to be okay. I didn't say I know what you're talking about. We don't do that to our girlfriends. I mean, we don't do that to, well, we should not do that to our girlfriends if we're being a compassionate listener. Now, if we're being an active listener, yes, we can do that. But when we're a compassionate listener, that's not what we do. We just hold the space and we allow them to transmute, compute their information. And if you are able and if you are skilled, and I would say skilled, you may ask him a very short question in between a long pause. And when I say a long pause, I'm talking about 35 seconds or more, almost even a minute. You're looking at them, they're looking, excuse me, they're looking at you, and nothing is being said. And they're still thinking and processing. Then you may want to say something like, tell me more. Or you may want to say something like, I feel your emotions right now. Is there anything else that you're feeling that you want to talk about? And if you have to, you can say, I'm open if you need me for anything else. Those are the type of questions and concerns and comments you want to utilize when you're a compassionate listener. During my conversation today, I held the space probably, I don't know, it felt like a long time, but I want to say it was probably about 30 to 40 minutes of a conversation, actually, of me actively listening with very few words that I had to say. But I did eventually reach out for a hug. I did not say anything that was going to trigger that person, even though some things that we spoke about did bring out even more emotional feelings. When I was able to say, when I was able to say, I hear you, I see you, I can understand how that hurts, I can understand the frustration, I can understand the anger. And even at that point, that particular person was like, I don't think I'm angry. And then I gave a small, very, 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 very small testimony of like, well, when I feel grief at times, I get angry. I'm angry because that person is no longer here and I want them to be here so much. And at that point, we talking about the tears rolled down the eyes of a grown man. And it just opens up your heart even wider. And it was wonderful. And it was brilliant. And it was impactful, not just for me, but for them. Because when it was all said and done, they were like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I feel lighter. And I was like, I'm always going to be here for you. I'm anytime you need me, I will be this compassionate listener. Now, I didn't say a compassionate listener to them, but I will be here to listen if that's what you need. And I just had a thought about that over, after the conversation since I've been home and the way I was taught about being an active listener and what a compassionate listener is and an open-hearted listener. And those are three things that I know that I do very well as a holistic self love coach. As a coach, period, my certification allowed me to be a listener for so many people and so many things. And I'm never that type of coach that I will challenge your thoughts and belief systems, but I'll also know when that's appropriate and when it's not. Sometimes I just ask a question and let them process that for another week or two. And to me, that's important for people to come to their own conclusions. And I honor their thought process, I honor their belief systems, and I honor their conclusion of what they believe they can handle and what they cannot handle. So, those, I just wanted to come and give you guys that quick just update on what compassion is, empathy is, especially when it comes to listening and supporting someone else. You don't have to be a coach to support someone during their hardship. Not everybody wants to be fixed, and no one is broken. So our first goal is never to fix anybody. It's always to listen and become empathetic with what's going on because we all go through seasons of everything in life as humans. We go through human seasons, and those things by itself is a roller coaster within life. Yeah, that's it. That's all. I don't think I have anything else to say. Is there anything else to say, Spirit? Is there anything else to say, Spirit? Oh, I will say that it was unconditional love as well. I provided unconditional love, and love for me is the foundation of all my work as a holistic self love coach. It's not just myself as a soul evolving life force, but it's also their self as a soul evolving life force. And the love that I give other people is a foundation. And sometimes people in grief don't feel that they are worthy of love in that moment because they're grieving so harshly for themselves and they're blaming time that they missed or neglected or did not necessarily embrace at times when they could have or should have. And the coulda, shoulda, wouldas will, destroy a person's self esteem. Yeah. So self love is something that I also want to just bring to the forefront right now. Just bring to the forefront. Have some self love and compassion for that person and for yourself when you're doing or having a compassionate listening conversation or interaction, I should say, more like an interaction. And yeah, if you have any questions or you need some clarity about this, please let me know. If you are looking for someone also to have an open conversation with and have a listening ear, if you need a compassionate listener or an active listener, or empathetic listener, then I may be the coach for you to help you process information and emotions, not just through your body, but also within your mindset and your belief systems. I'm more than willing and helpful to do that. You can get any of that information in the description box. And again, I love you guys so much. It's Coach Hunt, and I have your greatest interest at heart. Bye.